What's up guys, in today's video I got a review of the Marvel Legends Deadpool pirate version, and this figure first released back in 2020 with a retail of $19.99, but now you can find this figure for $35. Not sure if because of the release of the movie, but I ended up buying this figure for $9.99 at Ross. This is a Build-A-Figure wave with 3 accessories, which really isn't too bad for what it is. Now, if you guys do notice in front, it is an old school open window box. And on the side, you do have a brief picture of Private Deadpool. And on the back, you guys can see that this is a Build-A-Figure wave. And Deadpool is number 7 in the Build-A-Figure line. And for the Build-A-Figure, it is Marvel's strong guy. Overall, not a bad figure. So let's go ahead and go straight into the unboxing. Then after that, look into the accessories of this figure. So here we have a trade shot of Deadpool. We're not going to take the Build-A-Figure wave because it's not really relevant in this review video. So let's go ahead and go straight into the accessories first. So looking at the accessories, Deadpool does come with 2 different versions of swords. You guys do have one with a black hilt and then one with a gold or bronze hilt. You guys can tell that this is more of a pirate version, and this is just like a classic Deadpool sword. And then here we do have a musket, which is actually pretty well detailed in my opinion. Not a bad accessory. Let's go ahead straight into Deadpool. So here we have Deadpool in his pirate costume. Overall, it's not a bad figure in my opinion. As you guys can see, the detail of this figure is really nice. You guys can see that on his face or his head sculpt. He does have an expression which is pretty decent. His hat is non-removable if you guys are asking. It would have been nice if this could be removed, but I get it why it's not. His cape is a hard, somewhat soft plastic. Really not that bad in my opinion. And lifting up the cape, you guys can see some more details, some pouches right here for his sword. Overall, this part of the figure isn't all that bad. Now, it does look like a typical Deadpool besides having additional outfit accessories. You guys can see that in front of his belt, it does show 2 muskets, but these are non-removable. Overall, it's really not a bad version of Deadpool. You guys can see that one hand on his left hand, he does have kind of like that black glove that some pirates have, and his other hand doesn't. So it is somewhat of a mixture. Now, I'm not sure if this is like a certain variant or what part of the comic book this figure was inspired by, but overall the details looks pretty good in my opinion. Now, it would have been nice if this cape was removable, which I'm sure you can if you pop the head out, but we're not quite going to do that in this video. But the way that this Deadpool looks, I definitely rate this like a decent 7 out of 10, only because I'm not sure exactly where this is from. Overall, not too bad in my opinion. But next, we're going to go ahead and look at the articulation of this figure. So this figure is double jointed from what you could tell, but it is somewhat fragile. I'm not sure exactly why this plastic feel like is gonna end up breaking, but it's somewhat basically double jointed, and it does swivel right here on the bicep, which is actually pretty cool in my opinion. And let's go see if his arm can do a 360, and it can pretty decently enough. Now, this does not have butterfly joints, so it is somewhat restricted, but his arm can go above shoulder length right there. Let's see how far it can go the other way. Not too bad in my opinion. And let's go ahead and look at the ab crunch of this figure. So pushing it down, he is pretty restricted. I think it's because of this mold right here of the pistols that he has in the front, and he doesn't really go back all that much. So looking at the head scope, he can look up pretty decent, which is actually really good. And then looking down, it's really not that bad, I guess. I mean, you wouldn't really have him looking down all that much. He could look left and right fairly decent. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the leg articulation of this figure. And this figure does look like it does have double jointed knees, but it is restricted because of this rubber right here. It does have the swivel right here on the shin as well as the thighs. But overall, I mean, you really can't do much, even though it does have a good range of articulation. I mean, he is really restricted because of this outfit. Now, it would have been nice if you can remove this. I'm sure you could if you really wanted to, but then the figure will look kind of weird. Now, his ankle is on a hinge. It does go forward and back decently, and it does swivel around in a weird way. Overall, not too bad. Now, this figure, I feel like is going to be mostly a display piece just from the way it looks. It's not really that practical as much as I would think. And let's go ahead and put on his accessories. So putting on his accessories is fairly easy. Doesn't matter which side you put the sword, but it goes in pretty nice. Now he doesn't have anywhere to put his musket, but you guys can tell from his hand, he does have a trigger finger hand. So ideally you would mostly put this in his hand. Overall, really not that bad, but I really don't like the way the articulation hinges are. I feel like they're really brittle and they're about to break. You guys can see that it does have like this discoloration, like it's about to warp. Not sure exactly why. I mean, this is an older figure, but it's been kept in box, so just probably cheaply made. So you guys tell that this figure is cheaply made. Overall, we're gonna go ahead and look at the overall rating of this figure. When it comes to articulation, even though it does have double jointed elbows and double jointed knees, this figure is restricted. It is somewhat cheap, so I do feel like these hinges are about to break. So I'm gonna just give this a 5 out of 10. It is restricted because of the rubber piece right here of this outfit. So I really wouldn't want to rate this that much. It doesn't have toe articulation or anything. You would think that a typical Deadpool figure would be posable in all different ways. This is just going to be a display piece to put it in the background of other figures. Now, when it comes to accessories, this does come with 3 different accessories. I do feel like Deadpool is iconic to have his swords. I really don't want to give it a high score due to the accessories that it comes with because the swords are pretty iconic, pretty standard stuff for Deadpool. Definitely give it a 6 out of 10. Not that great in my opinion. I mean, the musket is pretty good, but still. When I think about the overall rating of this Deadpool figure, I'll definitely rate this a 6 out of 10. And I really don't recommend you picking this figure up. I mean, I know you can buy it on Amazon for $35, but I'll definitely stay away from this figure. It's not that great. The articulation kind of sucks. The quality feels pretty cheap. I mean, if you guys want to display this as just a display piece, and by all means pick it up, but I really do not recommend picking up Deadpool Pirate. I ended up getting this one for $9.99 at Ross, so at least it's not too bad, but I definitely would be fairly upset paying over retail, which right now is going between $20 to $35, but you can't pick it up for $35 at Amazon. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below, what do you guys think of Pirate Deadpool? And if you guys have this figure, do you share the same flaws as I do? Anyways, comment down below and I'll see you guys in the next video.